Got excited by the helmet before remembering that we are currently unable to use such. But hey, not the end of the world here. Holy moly, are there a lot of priests. And I thought this was a regular run, not some kind of convention of BO here, but game very much proving me wrong in that regard. And not too shabby. I think partially why we were able to run away earlier, that kind of slipped my brain, is the fact that we got this early amulet of the acrobat. Without that additional evasion, I think things might have been a little bit tough to deal with there. But as is, nothing we can't handle, and we'll just continue our blitz onwards and downwards for honor and glory. I will set my axe targets correctly there, since I, for whatever reason, just habitually set it to 14, which is probably, yeah, hand axe. Used to back in the day, or plain runs, or builds rather, backgrounds even, that don't start with the war axe. That is much better. And I'm gonna walk away again just because I don't want that Knoll Sergeant getting in range to poke us from beyond our bee friends. Unfortunately, it's all looking pretty rough. But okay, take care of the Hornet at the very least. And everything else here shouldn't be too bad. I guess an Orc Warrior could potentially turn the tables a little bit more than I'd like. There we go. Not too bad whatsoever. Let's see, anything we want out of this pile? Still no plate armor. Potentially missed some lying around. I probably should at some point here do a search. And I think I'll might up to finish this encounter, just trying to kill this Manticore as quickly as possible. There we go, not too bad. Little bit sketchy in the middle of that encounter, but turned out to be just fine. And you know what, a little froggy pal. There's nothing we can't handle as well before we head upstairs to finish off a solid rest. Holy moly. Never a dull moment and no rest for the wicked, or so it seems. +2 ring mail. AC would decrease by 1. That's probably not too bad at this stage, though. Frees up our mobility slightly for just a small sacrifice. What the heck? A Quicksilver ooze? Now that's just not fair, my friend. Yeah, no shot. Can't even paralyze you, huh? Well, oh dear. Formicid's not exactly in prime condition to take care of you. Do I just shaft self? Is that the answer here, potentially? Alternatively, again, I can might up. I guess we have a few healing potions, so we could always use an absurd number of resources and panic after we see how the initial bout goes here. I'm like kind of close to killing you. 50% chance to hit is not great. Do I just go for it and see what happens? I'm guessing I can't net you, right? Yeah, immune to nets makes sense. A little too inconsistent of a material to really get restrained. There's a delay on the shaft self, so unfortunately the heal wounds didn't give me quite as much of a get out of jail free card as I was originally, hoping for. So never mind, we ended up just finishing off the fight. It did look like it was a gosh darn shapeshifter. Let's back ourselves here, and then what we can do is just start digging. Holy moly. And at least gives us an opportunity to heal up. Otherwise, we can maybe take care of our problems here, especially if the centaur is kind enough to walk directly up to us. Fantastic, thank you, sir. And everything else should be relatively manageable. Said confidently, a little too early there. But hey, eventually got it kind of sorted. Yikes, I should not have tried to fight you though. That was a terrible mistake on my part. Kind of forgot we had seen a two-headed ogre before heading back up the stairs, so whoopsie daisies. Fortunately, they have that little bit of a delay after getting their smacks in. So there is some silver lining at the end of it all, and oof. What do I do with my two-headed friend here? I'm not sure if we're really equipped to handle you one way or another, unfortunately. Would have been nice if the Steam Dragon did a little bit more of the work on you, soften you up, but I guess we can put you in a net, and that does just barely get us the advantage, the leverage we needed to make it out of that in one piece. That's fantastic. And could, I guess, sacrifice a whole lot of armor class for the regeneration on the troll leather armor. But I'm not sure if that's quite worth it for this moment in time. Let's definitely head over to a slightly more manageable setup, and in fact I think what we'll do is we'll dig again and get ourselves nice and locked away in this corner. Oh, the centaurs aren't gonna... oh, never mind. I'm gonna say the centaurs aren't gonna step up to me, but they very foolishly decided to help us out a little bit there, so I do thank them for that. Thank you to my equine friends. And jeez Louise, another centaur warrior, huh? Oh, it didn't see me though? Oh, I thought for sure you were following me with how closely you were keeping to our heels, but I guess we do manage to make it out, and let's try to shaft you. Beautiful. We do send our next two-headed friend, or two-headed friend I should say, down a level. We can deal with them at a later date. More than happy to delay that encounter slightly here, or at least as much as we can for the moment. And this looks like a whole hive. I'm guessing there's a queen somewhere in the mix. Speak of the devil. Hey there, friend. Glad you decided to face us on your own instead of coming in with your lackeys. Again, the game is just being too kind to us at the moment. I appreciate it. Appreciate it dearly. And there we go. A yak pack. That's a little bit more up our current alley here. That's fantastic. And let's get a little more shield training. If we have to give up a hand, it does mean that shields will no longer be an option. I do believe we get slightly more piety on the sacrifice if we have a relevant skill that's trained up. So probably is worth it. I mean, for all we know, we never get the option to sacrifice hand, and I'll look like an idiot for not training shields. Plus with the +3 aptitude, it's pretty simple to get that up to a stage where we can probably use a kite shield on this character. And I could also keep training axes, trying to bring it up. I mean, we'll pretty much guaranteed be going for a two-handed axe at some stage in our journey, so I think it's fairly safe to do so. And we'll set that maxed out to 20 for the time being. And maybe, just maybe, we'll find ourselves swapping over to that battle axe sooner than originally expected. There's the arbalist, for if we had gone with a hunter start, we would gladly be swapping into that at this stage in our journey, but no real rush to do so, or probably no need to do so whatsoever for this character here today. And I think we might have both our lair and orc entrances on this floor, because I'm guessing where all the animals were coming from earlier is our lair entrance. Could have been a bit more of a general theme than anything else, but generally fairly safe to assume. So we take, again, a little bit more damage than I'd like. Killer Bee, could we just chill, please? No? No chill on these sons of guns, unfortunately. But holy moly. This is probably a case where I should have ignored the stone structure. Anytime you see these stone walls in any part of the dungeon, it's generally going to be filled to the brim with out-of-depth baloney, but hey, I guess it kind of worked out at the end of the day here, and because we were able to deal with it, does leave us slightly ahead of the curve. Ooh. And we did see some plate armor earlier. Would I rather have 3 armor class or the positive energy? Probably armor class at this point. Yeah, we'll see how that treats us at least. And let's keep going for a couple more floors. In fact, we are way overdue on getting everything ID'd. So let's do that now, shall we? Teleportation, of course, completely useless to us, but nice to get the ID out of the way so we at least know that we can't or shouldn't and definitely won't rely on that scroll in the future. Or more IDs, eh? We'll just throw you on random scrolls. We won't do our usual pick our favorite language here. And there we go. We get the blinking and teleport. You can just drop both of those Sons of Guns immediately. I was hoping for magic mapping so we could get a guarantee on finding this this Bailey entrance that we saw the message for upon our entrance to the floor. Ooh, creaking of a portcullis, very nearby. Do love that. And can sacrifice courage, durability. Durability is a major, hey? Ooh, prevents us from having any ranks in the armor skill. Unfortunately, that's kind of our bag at the moment here. Let's see. The, oops. What about essence? Trivial. Yes, probably not the right idea there. And courage makes us struggle against strong monsters. Probably basically unable to deal with anything out of depth. Holy moly, Rue. You are definitely feeling a bit spicy here today. Maybe I do just sacrifice the armor. Training in armor, I guess, generally a bit more useful if we are hoping to use like ranged weapons or cast spells. I can still just slap on the heaviest thing I own. You know, we at least have the strength that we shouldn't get too much of a negative hit from that. Eventually, we have to start sacrificing something at least kind of good, right? Let's try it out. See how it goes. We lost 1 armor class, that's not the end of the world. And we did gain the Aura of Power, which is kind of what I was hoping for. At the end of the day, needed to get some kind of effect started. And I also just accidentally smacked the Auto Explorer. Let's head back to where we were seeing the Bailey notice. Should be somewhere nearby to here. Excuse me? Sir? Very nearby. There we go. Fantastic. And okay, slightly more terrifying than I expected on our white friends here. But fortunately, we're able to take care of them, and we should have enough time on the portcullis here to fully heal up before we have to risk it all. And let's do a quick check. 0.7 delay. About 23 damage. If I use the battle axe at this point, 0.9 is not bad, and up to 33. I'd like to hit a little harder here today, I think. That doesn't sound too bad to me for this moment in time. Ooh, and an acquirement scroll in there. Ever since, I think just 1 run, I had a very early Bailey that contained gold dragon scales, and I've just been dreaming of that ever since and hoping for a repeat. Unfortunately, doesn't look to be the case today, or at least not at this very moment in time, but still hope for something in that vein here, especially with the acquirement scroll. We could always find ourselves with a lovely set of armor. Though now that I think about it, I don't know what the ruse set or the acquirement scroll actually uses, because it will, you know, always give stuff useful to you, so that's pretty straightforward. If it uses your skill training to determine whether to give you like heavy armor versus a robe, Rue got rid of our armor skill. So what does that mean? Does that mean we won't be offered heavy armor, even though that's something we definitely would like? But okay, you have +2 battle axe. Definitely a tough encounter there without any ability to, you know, we don't have might, we can't speed ourselves up at all. Could try to net you. Could hope that Rue comes in clutch as well. It's always a possibility. Let's see, 28% chance. And have to acquire scroll and teleport away. It shouldn't make fun of Formicids like that. But the Scroll of Disappointment generally offers nothing of value, and never in what you're expecting is your general feeling of it. Fair enough. So in that case, nothing to worry about here, and it's always just going to be a pure luck roll, I guess. But okay, let's take you back a bit. 69% chance to hit you. That's with the poison darts. I wanted to see with the net. Okay, same dealio. So in that case, let's start off hoping for a paralyze. Heck yeah, brother. Fantastic. And I'll take that +2 battle axe. Thank you very much. Okay, not too shabby. Definitely glad it went that smoothly, because otherwise nothing in this vault was really worth our time of day here. Let's take a peek, shall we? Yeah, no armor, as to be expected. Battle axe electrocution, not too bad, but not great either. Generally, you want that electrocution on something a little faster, a little less heavy hitting, but the gloves are amazing. Strength +4 and regen. That's saying we probably didn't need to do the recap on everything there, because it was a pretty much a no-brainer immediately upon seeing it. The gloves are definitely everything we hoped for and dreamed of and more. And cool. Let's see how that treats us. Moving forward here, we've definitely gotten a nice little power bump. Even are able to take care of the two-headed ogre. Probably should not have risked it, if we're being honest. But that was a nice little comparison to something we had to fight on one of our earlier floors. So it seemed like a nice benchmark to at least try our hand at, and hey, it worked out, so therefore it had to be the best option, right? Confirmation bias and all of that. Thing of beauty. Let's put on the kite shield, seeing as how, yeah, don't believe it'll slow our attack down, so that's fantastic. And amulet of regen, let's definitely throw that bad boy on. Brings us up to 2 HP per turn, which is just beautiful. And okay, we should be in a fairly decent spot on the run here. In fact, I'm tempted to not even finish off the rest of our regular dungeon. Or I shouldn't say finish off the rest of the dungeon. Thinking about not performing our usual routine of clearing down to D12 before checking out the S branches, when we're currently in a decent spot here to just head down into Lair and start poking our way through. I guess the one thing we don't have at this juncture is a flame weapon, which would be nice because we're fairly likely, cannot talk today, fairly likely to run into some Hydra pals, of course. But okay, we can sacrifice drink here, major sacrifice. I believe this is similar to the mutation, if not exactly equivalent to the mutation. So interesting. Trivial sacrifice, because casting is slightly disrupted. Yeah, we could definitely take that, no problem. And sacrifice health, getting AC -5. Yikes. You know, having already sacrificed durability, I don't love that. Especially at this stage in the game, AC -5 is a deal breaker. If this was a little later on, that doesn't seem too bad. You know, if we're up to the the 40 AC mark in a late stage melee character. Unfortunately, though, I don't think that's really doable. Maybe we just sacrifice drink. I don't have any heal wounds on me at the moment. And you know, being a worshiper of Rue calls for some strict sacrifices. So let's try it out. Again, we're very much in the experimentation phase of our Rue journey here. So let's experiment, shall we? Let's see how that treats us. Definitely swap over to some poison darts to take care of you, my friend. And in fact, that should pretty much do the trick. Fantastic.